What's up, everybody? So today we are reacting to 10 brutal military trainings only the 1% can do. This is by TheRichest. I'm very excited to watch this one because the top 1%, I'm not going to lie, the slogan for the Royal Marines are 99.99% need not apply. So I'm wondering if we're in there. I was going to react. I was going to react to Black Ops 2 trailer, and I did. And when I uploaded it, not only did they copyright strike it, but they actually completely blocked me from being able to publish it at all. So that really sucks. And maybe I'll post it on Discord for my private Discord users, which reminds me, thank you to my members, guys. I really, really appreciate your support. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be making videos every single day. So guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you are a member and you're not part of Discord yet, link down below. Make sure you go and join Discord. And if you're not a member and you fancy a bit of a chinwag anyway, link down below. Go and join the Discord. There's some awesome stuff in there. Make sure you check out the new announcement. I am looking for an editor for clips from my Twitch. So go and check out the announcement in Discord if you're interested. Also down there, you'll find Instagram, Twitter, website, my merchandise, which is really cool. Check it out. And my Twitch, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So even though I have not reacted to Black Ops 2 trailers, I will still be playing Black Ops 2 tomorrow. So don't worry. Okay, let's pull this up. Let's move me big head to the side. And let's watch this, because I'm actually really interested in this. This was one I was going to react to over the weekend. But I want to react to it right now. So, 10 brutal military trainings only the 1% can do. Let's see.
When it comes to the military, there are ultimately no limits on the type of training that's done if the end result justifies
Look at that cute little mustache.
the requirement. This means that soldiers often undergo training drills that are very difficult and sometimes downright dangerous.
So that said National Guard at the bottom then? Do they think that the National Guard are in the top 1%?
Dangerous. Make sure to keep watching until the end to see why the U.S. Navy is made up of some of the toughest soldiers in the world. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to TheRichest for more explosive content.
Of course, I'll leave a link to the original video in the description down below. Make sure you go and send them some love, okay, guys?
Now let's get into the 10 most intense military trainings from around the world. Guatemala's Kaibil Special Forces Unit undergoes intense training under physical and mental pressure to help prepare them for jungle warfare.
1 second. 1 second. That camouflage is doing nothing. That cam cream, sorry. It's doing nothing, guys. That's bad cam cream.
And mental pressure to help prepare them for jungle warfare and counterinsurgency operations.
Nice ghillie suit,
with a slogan like, "If I go forward, follow."
They've all got matching. They've all got matching
counterinsurgency
cam cream.
operations. With a slogan.
Look at that. They've all got matching cam cream. That's, guys, that's not how you put cam cream on. That's just to look cool. That. I mean, let's be honest, they're also wearing bright red berets, so...
Like, "If I go forward, follow me. If I stop, urge me on. If I retreat, kill me." You know that they mean business.
Interesting.
It is even widely believed that recruits used to be taught some very unique methods of survival in order to show their ferocity. While their training today might not be as brutal as it used to be, Kaibiles must climb up a rope, perform 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and run 2 miles before eating.
They must climb a rope. I don't think this is that
They do
difficult,
this
guys.
throughout their 60-day training course before eating breakfast, lunch, and supper every single day. This is because the Kaibiles believe that the right to eat has to be earned.
Okay, doing it every single day. That's how... I'll give it.
Have you ever tried running 2 miles in the morning on an empty stomach? It's definitely not an easy task. In a training group of 40 candidates, only 7 or 8 actually become...
I don't know whether this is serious or not. Running 2 miles. I have a dad bod. I am nowhere near as close as the fitness I was in the Royal Marines, and I still go for a 3-mile run most mornings on an empty stomach. Running 2 miles on an empty stomach is literally nothing.
Become Kaibiles in the end. It's even rumored that Kaibiles are not allowed to sleep for more than 3 hours a day, and that the right to sleep has to be earned as well. But the Kaibiles aren't the only ones who've had to harm others during their training. While in Thailand for the 2018 Cobra Gold, thousands of U.S. Marines participated in a Thai Marine jungle survival training class. Local Marines taught their American counterparts how to find food to eat if ever they found themselves stranded in the jungle. While the most important thing that they learned was how to get water from a vine, they also learned that snake blood could help keep.
So I've been over this part, this little clip thing with one of my previous videos, and I think the shock of it makes everyone on YouTube go, "Oh my god, it's snake blood." At the end of the day, it's just liquid you're trying to get aboard that is not going to kill you, and you need liquid when you're trying to survive. It just so happens that they choose to do snake blood. Nothing special about it. It's just another method of survival, guys.
Keep them alive if they had no other options. The Thai Marines are trained to catch cobras and to drink their blood in order to survive. They're also not afraid to eat the snake flesh and are even taught to snack on scorpions, geckos, and bugs. While learning to eat these types of food isn't really necessary for soldiers in America, it's totally normal training for the Thai Marines. It may not be dangerous, but we definitely would not want to be in their shoes. It almost feels like we're talking.
Why would he just swing that snake about for nothing?
About an episode of Fear Factor instead of a military training drill. However, these eating habits are integral to surviving the jungle when you find yourself without traditional sustenance.
Cool.
The Kopassus Special Forces of Indonesia are another military group that's trained to drink the blood of snakes for survival purposes. When former U.S. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis visited Indonesia at the start of 2018, he was treated to a demonstration of their different skills. Besides biting snakes,
Guys, I think the shock of it being a snake to videos like this is more important than what the actual process that they're trying to achieve, and that is just to survive. And drinking snake blood, eating snakes is just one of millions of different ways you could survive. But because it's a snake, they think that it's more impressive. It's just a snake, guys.
The soldiers showed off their ability to break bricks using their heads. They even broke through towers of bricks that were set on fire with their bare fists.
I'm sure General Mattis was just like, why though? Why?
The Kopassus are also trained to roll around in glass, walk across burning boards, and climb a ladder of swords without any shoes. As a military troop that conducts special operations missions for the Indonesian government, these guys are taught how to handle anything that might come their way. As per their training demonstration, building up their ability to endure pain is clearly a priority. So is the idea that soldiers must be fearless in the face of danger. Do you think that being able to break a brick with your head makes you a better soldier? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
It 100% does not. It just gives you a headache.
Below. The U.S. Navy is arguably one of the top special operations forces in the world. They're brought in for missions that are above the capability of conventional military forces, so you can bet that they go through a tough training program. Perhaps one of the more controversial parts of that program is the SERE Level C training facility, designed for Navy personnel who have a high risk of capture and exploitation. Alongside the traditional classroom learning, students are also thrown into a field training exercise that has them practice.
So I actually don't know much about the U.S. Navy training, but it's huge. There's a lot of people in the U.S. Navy, so, I mean, the Navy SEALs, I'm guessing they're part of the Navy still? Like, or are they a separate entity? I'm not sure, because if it does, then if they are, then I understand why it's saying that the Navy in this point are, elite. But if it's not, then it's such a wide branch that it's kind of hard to say that the Navy is elite when there's so many different varieties of military personnel in it, so I'm not too sure about that.
Practicing their survival and evasion skills outdoors. Then there's the Resistance Training Laboratory, which is a mock POW camp in which students are tested on their ability to resist interrogation.
Yeah, nothing special.
According to former students of the program, they were humiliated throughout their training. The SERE, Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape School, uses various techniques that are designed to push their students to the edge in an
See, that's scary, right?
School uses.
This is relatively scary for some people, having your hands tied behind your backs. I don't think they've got it tied, or they're just holding their hands behind the backs, and then pushing yourself up to get air. That's relatively scary. But the rest of it isn't as terrifying.
Various techniques that are designed to push their students to the edge in an attempt to break them. They're basically injured and interrogated in a realistic way to prepare them in case they ever do get captured by the enemy in the future. Being able to
Yeah.
endure mental exhaustion is one thing, but being able to endure physical exhaustion and pain is a whole other ballgame.
I actually would say they're on par. Mental games that can be played on you during interrogation phases, like in the special forces, I've heard of some horrific methods to like really mess with your mental state, ranging from stress positions with noises like they were doing, ranging to like the training team would, I don't know whether this is true, but hire people to come in and like laugh at you while you're naked and like make you feel really degraded. Like there's all sorts of different methods to really tear down someone's mind. Whereas there's physical pain, there's just a barrier you've got to push through at all times, and I feel like that's more accessible, although it does take willpower to do it. So I'd say they're very different, but I wouldn't say physical pain is more difficult to get through than mental, resilience.
At the end of a multi-week amphibious training program in Taiwan, the Marine Corps that want to become frogmen must complete an exercise known as the Road to Heaven. This exercise consists of them crawling over jagged coral rocks while wearing nothing but...
Okay, so I've seen this one before as well. They're just crawling over rocks, guys. It's just there's no need for it. There's no need for it. It doesn't help. Doesn't make you a better soldier. It really doesn't. I mean, some people would say that the pain would help your pain threshold. No. The whole saying of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is complete rubbish. What doesn't kill you just doesn't kill you. And you're still the same person after it.
but shorts. To start the crawl, the candidates must let themselves fall from an upright position onto the floor. They then begin to crawl on their knees and elbows across the path of razor-sharp rocks. The recruits often shout, "I don't fear pain," as they complete the task. The path also has 10 stopping points in which exercises must be performed before moving on. Instructors also pour salt water onto their open wounds to make the task even more painful for them. Even after making it through, an instructor can decide to make the recruit perform the task again if they aren't satisfied with how it was done. While this training supposedly simulates landing on a rocky beach, it's mainly used as a test to see if the candidates can endure the pain.
Yeah, it's just pointless.
After completing the exercise, they become elite soldiers, which makes it all worthwhile. Now let's get back.
I think it does show that they're determined and that they've got a high pain threshold. I don't think it improves it in any way. I think it just shows that they do have a high pain threshold and they have the ability to listen orders even when they're in pain. But I don't think it improves them in any way. Not at all.
Back to talking about the U.S. Navy, because they truly do go through some of the most intense.
This girl's really like loving the U.S. Navy right now, isn't she?
Intense training techniques in the world. One of the rigorous exercises that they're put through happens during their dive phase. Navy personnel have to be comfortable with water, and they need to learn how to remain calm in all sorts of scary water-based situations.
Yep.
Candidates will have their masks ripped off underwater.
So I'm wondering whether this is more Navy SEALs at this point, because I think I've seen something about the Navy SEALs doing stuff like this, which makes sense because they are tough guys. But then again, why would she just say U.S. Navy and why would she not say Navy SEALs? So I'm not too sure whether other personnel in the Navy do this. If they do and you know that, please leave a comment down below. I'd be very intrigued to find out.
Will have their airflow stopped and will get pushed around in the water. Why? Because they need to learn how to control their emotions when things go wrong. Another tactic is to push candidates underwater without their oxygen tanks to simulate what it's like to be trapped under ice. Navy SEALs also have to go through a drowned...
See, she said Navy SEALs then, so even though she's talking about U.S. Navy, this is specifically Navy SEALs. Okay. And yeah, they are tough. They are very tough. And their training is amazing.
Proofing test, in which their hands are tied behind their backs, their feet are bound, and they then have to complete a number of tasks underwater like that. If they don't succeed, they are removed from the training. While the candidates do struggle to breathe and are pushed to exhaustion in the water, which could be very dangerous, the point is to teach them how to relax and get comfortable in precarious situations. We've talked about breaking cinder blocks.
Yeah, so I've seen some really interesting training techniques that the SEALs do, especially on the water training, where they really emphasize how important it is to stay calm underwater. And I think that is an incredibly powerful tool because it's natural to panic without oxygen. No matter what you're doing, it's natural to panic, and the ability to be, mindful in that situation and be like, no, I'm going to relax, I got control, I can do this, is a very, very important skill. So, hats off to the US Navy for that.
With bare fists and noggins already, but Russia's Spetsnaz special force training takes things to a whole new level.
I've heard the Russian Spetsnaz are like awesome. I'd love to react to some more of the video. If you think I should react to some more of the Russian Special Forces, let me know in the comments down below.
They're known for their extreme pain management training, which includes having blocks placed on their heads, backs, or stomachs, and then having a fellow soldier break them with a sledgehammer.
See, does that help? What, really? Like, I don't know, guys.
These blocks are sometimes even set on fire, because why not? These Russian soldiers are also trained to handle getting full power punches and kicks to the chest and stomach areas. While some might find this training method to be a tad abusive, it's all part of teaching these soldiers how to handle pain. If they can't handle getting kicked by a colleague in a non-life-threatening situation, then they'll
Was he just doing like air punches then?
never be able to handle getting blindsided by the enemy during a real
Parkour.
life situation. Their training gets even more brutal than that. They go through an exercise in which they must fight off 2 other soldiers who are coming at them with burning sticks in their hand. If they're not fast enough, they get whacked with a fire stick. The Spetsnaz are definitely an elite military group that we wouldn't want to mess with.
They are definitely elite. I question again some of the whole burning blocks being broken on your back. I just don't think that's a necessary tool to make you a good soldier. I really don't. But I'd like to react to more of the Russian special forces to really get a understanding on what their training's like, because I don't know much about them at all. Very interested to learn more.
But the Russians and Taiwanese aren't the only ones exposing their soldiers to pain. As part of the U.S. Air Force basic military training, trainees must go through an excruciating experience in a gas chamber that's known as the confidence.
Yeah, this is nothing. It's easy. We do the same thing. They put on, they do a bunch of, I forgot what it's called, the pepper spray stuff in the room. You take your mask off. You go. For me, it was Corporal I am 300659446 Marine Gillings, permission to leave the chamber. Although you get to like 300, and then you're just like after that point. So yeah, this is nothing special. I don't think the top 1% are the only ones that can do this. This is
chamber. It's basically a test that they undergo to teach them to have confidence in their nuclear, biological, and chemical equipment. After putting their protective mask on properly, they have to walk into a gas chamber that's full of tear gas. If they put their masks on incorrectly...
Pepper spray and tear gas, the same thing. I don't think they are. Either way, it's easy, guys. They're so easy.
They will feel the effects of the tear gas immediately. Right before leaving the chamber, the trainees are all asked to remove their masks so they can experience what it would actually be like inside. Trainees leave the chamber with painful eyes and often have trouble breathing for a few minutes afterwards. While it's not at all a pleasant experience, you can bet that everyone is sure to put their equipment on correctly after going through the confidence chamber. It also teaches...
It definitely like helps with the understanding that your equipment works. I think, and I've been told this a few times, that it's not so much the experience, it's learning to trust your equipment and that your equipment does work, whether you feel like it might not be working, because at the end of the day, for certain gases and stuff, you might not even be able to smell it. So having your gas mask on and being like, is it even working? This gives you confidence in the equipment. That's probably the biggest point you can take away from this.
Them how to stay calm and not panic when their bodies are under duress. As you can probably imagine, there's not a lot of time for soldiers to rest while they're on duty. That's why the U.S. Navy SEALs purposely go through sleep deprivation training to prepare them for what's to come. As part of what's known as Hell Week, they're forced to stay awake for 5 days straight. While they are given the opportunity to take 2 2-hour naps, many soldiers choose to stay up because they don't want to deal with the difficulty of waking back up afterwards.
I mean, 5 days, you've got to take a few naps. You have to take a few naps. I've been on training exercises where we've not had sleep for a few days and people start hallucinating. So even though there's 5 days and she says most people don't sleep, I can guarantee every single one of them takes naps. Every single one of them. If you don't, your mental state will deteriorate. So
One former Navy SEAL told ABC News that he was able to somewhat function normally for 3 days before the hallucinations began to kick in.
That's
the
usually
cherry
about right.
on top of all of this is that the trainees have to continue on with their typical activities while fighting the urge to fall asleep.
Yeah.
While sleep deprivation isn't fun, it's still important for trainees to experience it so that they'll already know what to do to combat fatigue when they have to stay up on the job.
Yeah, I think 3 days is about right before you start hallucinating, and that's why people do take the little naps, here and there.
It also helps them to work on their focus and discipline as it challenges them to keep going even when they feel like giving up. And sleep deprivation isn't the only thing that soldiers have to deal with while on duty. They also have to be prepared to face all kinds of extreme climates. When it comes to the Canadian
Yeah, so again, the Navy SEALs, they're doing the right thing by training and giving them them little windows to nap is a good way to kind of keep them in that weird kind of deteriorating state for 5 days, but without really hurting them or injuring them, if that makes sense. So a very clever tactic, as per usual, by the Navy SEALs.
Canadian Armed Forces, cold water immersion training is a necessity.
Yeah.
This exercise is done as part of a winter survival training so that candidates have the tools to survive if they ever fall through ice and have to rescue themselves from the frigid water.
Yep, Royal Marines do the exact same thing, training in Norway, doing the ice dips, same thing.
Cold water creates a cold shock response within your body, which causes you to hyperventilate. To avoid becoming another sad statistic, Canadian soldiers are trained to control their breathing within a minute so they can get back out onto the ice before their body seizes up from the cold.
Yeah, you jump in, you swim to the edge, you put your ice picks in the ice, and you say, Corporal, I am 3006594 Marine Jones, permission to leave the Oggin, the water. You get out, you roll in the white snow to get most of the excess water off you. You run inside, you get warm.
This exercise is performed in the dead of winter when temperatures are typically below 22 degrees Fahrenheit. As with all of these military trainings, this frigid plunge is not for the faint of heart, but neither is being a soldier.
I actually haven't reacted to much of the Canadian forces as well. If you think I should, I'd like to react to more different countries' military and special forces. Give me some recommendations down below what you think I should react to and what countries you think I should react to, because I'm going to branch out a little bit.
That's all for the 10 most intense military trainings from around the world. Have you or has anyone you know participated in any of these training drills? Tell us all about it in the comments below. Thank you for...
Okay, so yeah, some of that useful, some of it not, like we've seen before. I genuinely think that some of the pain stuff is just not helping you become a better soldier in any way. But I think some of the cold water stuff, some of the sleep deprivation stuff, a lot of the stuff that basically Canada and the US Navy were doing, on point, amazing. Like, it genuinely makes you a better soldier. So yeah, very interesting, very intriguing to see how some of these other countries are doing things that seem like just to show off. Maybe not the Spetsnaz, because they could actually do a lot of the crazy stuff. But some countries I feel like just want to show force and show that they have good soldiers. But being able to crawl across rocks does not make you a good soldier. I've said that before and I'll say it again. It's just a way to try and show that you're a good soldier, but that's not how it works. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, do press the like button. Again, thank you to my members. You're all amazing. I love you all so much. Don't forget to look down below. I'll have the original video linked down there, along with my Instagram, my Twitter, my Discord. Make sure you go and check out Discord, especially if you want to edit some of my videos in the announcement page. Check out my website and my merch. My merch is awesome. And definitely go to my Twitch, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we play some awesome games like Warzone. And we get the win like we did yesterday. We got 4 out of 5 games won in quads, which was incredible. All right, guys. Thank you very much, everyone. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.